Have you ever wanted a V8 powered Jeep pickup truck with heavy duty truck running gear, which you can take anywhere? Well, I have one of those right behind me. And in this video, I'm gonna learn everything about it with you and also take it for a drive. Yes, this is a Hellcat powered Jeep Gladiator. And I have one of the guys who builds it, Tony. Tony.
How are you, Andre?
Thank you. Thank you for having me here at 101 Motors.
Absolutely. We'll welcome having you.
So I want to learn everything about it before I jump in and drive it.
Sure.
So tell me, how does it start? This starts as basically a stock Gladiator.
Starts as a 100% stock Gladiator. We call it the donor vehicle. So
okay.
Once it gets here, we remove the body. We take out the complete drivetrain in this regard. The engine, the transmission, the axles, the differential, everything comes out. After that, we'll remove the motor mounts. We'll put in our new motor mounts. We'll put the drivetrain back in it. Then we install a Dana 60 front axle, Dana 80 rear axle with ARB air lockers in it. Then we install our 1.25 ton steering, PSC hydraulic steering. Then the fun part goes with the engine.
You have many options here, right?
We do.
So the Jeep really comes either with a gas V6, or they also have diesel versions of this from the factory. But so this probably started out as a gas V6.
This is a gas 3.6 liter. Yep. And then turned into a 6.2 liter Hellcat motor. We have a few other options. We have a 392, 500 horsepower. We have the 707 horsepower.
Which is this?
We have an 840 horsepower Demon.
Okay.
And if that's still not enough, we could put you in the Elephant at 1,000 horsepower.
Okay. So, can you show the engine a little bit closer? Because, I mean, it's a tight fit.
It is, but it looks very OEM.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And these are branded America's Most Wanted, correct?
America's Most Wanted is the manufacturer for this whole conversion process.
I gotcha. So you have, and this is basically a crate motor, right?
Yes, this is a crate motor. We're running very much close to a factory tune in it, so it's very reliable. There could be more power to be added if deemed necessary.
Yeah. Or you can do another engine, like you said.
Correct.
Yeah. And then the transmission. Tell me about the transmission.
We upgraded the transmission to the 8-speed HP 75. A factory transmission. This is the 850 RE. So we upgrade that to hold the power. We do have a proprietary conversion mount for the transfer case. But we strive to put together what we consider an OEM conversion. So even down to the hose clamps, they're all OEM. So we use OEM computers so that you could take this to your local Mopar dealer and they can work on it and they can service it.
Cool. Well, tell me about the springs and the shocks, because that's kind of unique as well.
So the springs and shocks are built with our partner TerraFlex, but unique to these springs and these shocks is the spring rate is set up for the weight of a Hemi-Tune motor and our axles. And then our shocks, you can see right here, America's Most Wanted 4x4, are valved to these spring rates. So hence will give us the optimum ride. So no off-the-shelf parts per se. All these parts were engineered to work with this vehicle.
What about the wheels and tires?
These wheels and tires happen to be a set of beadlock wheels, 17-inch, 40-inch tires, load C, which gives us, that great ride quality.
And how much would you say it overall weighs?
This weighs in the neighborhood of around 6,400 to 6,700 pounds.
So it weighs like a Ram TRX, so to speak.
Correct.
Approximately, but that's because of the heavy-duty running gear as well.
Yes. But the heavy-duty running gear is what gives it its optimum ride quality. It just feels so much more planted. I mean, it's something that you're going to experience when you drive it.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the exhaust. And of course, I want to hear it.
Yes.
In a second, and then we'll drive it.
The exhaust is a proprietary exhaust for America's Most Wanted. It's a mandrel bent system. We actually do a heat wrap from the tip to the tail, to isolate the heat and keep it within the exhaust. The sound quality we think is by far perfect, but I'll let you be the judge of that. Okay.
So not too loud, not too quiet, right?
Correct.
It's just kind of in the middle.
People do know that you have gotten rid of the V6 when you pull up to the light.
Okay.
But I think that's the allure. I really do.
So it's on 40s, and of course you have a spare.
Yes, we do have a spare, a hinge mount spare. So that gives it a very nice stance. This one happens to have our new upgraded coolant blower tank, so it holds a few more gallons of reserve capacity for the intercooler.
Okay.
So it keeps the intercooler charge much more cool, which hence gives you more horsepower. So that's consistent. Yes, that's one of the new upgraded designs.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're always, America's Most Wanted is always trying to improve their systems, and it's a never-ending task, but they always keep getting better and better.
And of course, you can take the doors off and the roof off. I mean, it's still a Jeep after all.
It's still a Jeep with 700 horsepower. So we consider it like a Corvette with 40s.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I jump in and we drive, can you jump in there and kind of rev the engine a couple times? Yeah, it sounds like a V8.
It does sound like a V8.
It should, yes. And tell me about that little step.
Well, these steps are rock slider steps. So, function and form.
Okay.
So, once they're tucked up completely, they're perfectly flush. So that when you go off-road, you don't have to worry about breaking your step.
Yeah, so this is pretty solid.
Yep.
Terraflex kind of control arms in the back.
Terraflex control arms, yes. Yep.
Very neat. And what, a mile of ground clearance probably.
We do have quite a bit of ground clearance.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't think you're going to have any problems in that department.
Very, very cool. So let's jump in and let's go for a ride and see how it drives. Okie doke. Even in here, you can really tell the rumble.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. And take a look at this. Also, customized gauges.
Correct. We have custom branded gauges for America's Most Wanted. We also brand the shifter, the selector, and the grab bar.
And is this kind of you as well?
Yes. Well, this is actually this Jeep here started life as a Mojave. So this is the factory color here, and this right here is paintwork for the dash. We just painted it.
Yeah. And it matches the outside.
We're gonna make our way down the street.
Oh, there's that supercharger.
Yes, you can turn right here. No mistaking that.
So you know how Jeep from the factory, they're doing the Wrangler 392.
Correct.
And whenever I've driven it a few times, and I call it kind of the smile machine.
It is.
But I think this is just above that.
I think this one will give you a little more smiles. I think it will.
Smiles per gallon, correct?
Yep.
Oh, yes. And these are Maxxis tires, correct?
They are. They're Maxxis tires. 40s. Yep. We find them a good compromise between noise, grip, and wear. So we're very happy with them.
Is the fuel tank about the same?
The fuel tank is the same size.
Okay.
Yes.
So you might be using a little bit more fuel with this one.
We're using a little bit more fuel, yes.
Okay.
That is correct,
Okay.
but it's about miles per gallon.
I love that you did heavy-duty axles.
That's, in my opinion, the only way to go on this for reliability and the driving feel. As you can imagine right now, and you see, it drives so planted.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, even though we have 700 horsepower, it's not 700 scary horsepower.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of almost full throttle. I mean, it really spooled up, but you could also just cruise, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. If you plan on just driving like a normal Jeep, it is a normal Jeep. Yeah. But if you want to have some fun, you're right foot away from having fun.
And the transfer case is still the same.
The transfer case is a Rubicon transfer case.
Okay.
Yes. We put a Rubicon transfer case in these. And we've tested it up to 1,000 horsepower in our Elephant, and we have not broken it. It's not failed. So.
And of course, you have the gearing, the 4-to-1, right? In the Rubicon.
We
case.
do. We run 488 final gears in this, like I said, with the ARB air locker also.
Okay.
So proven reliability is what we're all about, and we do test. So we've broken some parts in the past, and we've learned from them. So we're continually improving.
Yeah, so it's not just, hey, let's take a Gladiator, let's throw a big engine in that and call it a day, right?
This is a comprehensive package, turnkey, that we can sell to you, and we'll also warranty it. So, yes.
What kind of warranty?
We do a 3-year warranty.
Okay.
Yeah, very similar to what the factory does.
Okay.
So we stand behind the products. Even if the product didn't come with the warranty, we'll warranty it, because we stand behind those products.
So, tell me, so how much this particular one, this 707?
A vehicle just like this with equipment like this is right around $196,000.
Okay, and that includes the donor vehicle.
Correct. That includes the vehicle, and we can do it one of two ways. We have a turnkey vehicle program that will sell you a complete vehicle just like this one, or we can take your vehicle and do a conversion on it.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you bought a Gladiator a year ago or 2 years ago,
you can
or
send
whatever,
it to us, and we can make it look like this, make it
Okay.
drive like this.
So that would be obviously less because you're starting with a vehicle already,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep. Absolutely.
And then, but you said you have more affordable packages, 392.
We do. We have a 392 package with either stock axles or 8-lug axles, hydraulic steering, very similar to this.
Yeah.
And then we actually have a couple more packages that we can go above this into the Demon power plant. And finally, we can end with the Elephant power plant, if so be. Keep in mind that the Elephant is very limited, and we do have a few more motors left, but when those motors are over...
It was because of the supply of the motors.
Correct.
Right?
Yep. And once it's over, we can't build any more of those.
So you got to get it while it lasts.
Correct. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks a lot.
Oh, thank you.
I really appreciate the drive in this, and yeah, it's one of those dream vehicles, right?
It is.
If you love Jeeps, if you love V8 power, I think this is one of those dream vehicles that people can enjoy.
Absolutely. Yep. So thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks.